Hello and welcome to New Mexico Rising. My name is Dan. You know, each and every week I try to bring people from all across the country to talk to me about cool things we can do right here in New Mexico. It's like the second week into 2024, and are your New Year's resolutions holding up? Well, we're going to find out from experts and how we can make that a little easier. It's all right here on New Mexico Rising. In a world where the path after high school can seem like a maze, having the right compass is crucial. Today, we're diving into an invaluable resource guiding students towards a bright future. Joining us is Autumn Cavanis, Director of Real Talk at Big Future College Board, with a wealth of experience from the University of Texas at Austin and Texas A&M University. And a commitment to student success, Autumn is here to shed light on how Big Future is revolutionizing how students plan their journey after high school, whether it's college, a career beyond. You know, Autumn's insight promised to be a beacon for students and families navigating these crucial decisions. Welcome to the show, Autumn. How are you, my friend?
I'm golden. Thank you for having me. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's been a nice day today, so I'm excited for that. So how does Big Future combine features and services to kind of help all students chart a path after high school?
That's a wonderful question, and I'm really proud that over the past 10 years, I've had the amazing experience of working with thousands of high school students and college students as they figure and contemplate what is that right first step after high school. And one thing that I have discovered is that no student's journey is identical, which means that as they figure out that right first step, that process can be confusing and more complicated than a Facebook status, all right? But where Big Future really comes in and helps out students and families is that Big Future over at bigfuture.org is a comprehensive resource that is free. It demystifies this entire process, and it shares with students how to explore careers, how to plan for college, and ultimately, because we always like to know about the money, how to pay for college.
So what burning questions come from students today, and how is Big Future addressing some of those questions?
Right. Well, as you mentioned earlier, I'm the director of Big Future's Real Talk, so I have to have real talk with you and your audience today. The burning questions that we're hearing is students are trying to figure out, what is that right first step? Students are wanting to know, what should my major be? Where should I go for college? Should I go to a community college? Or should I go to a four-year? Should I just start my career upon graduating and finishing high school? And students are also trying to figure out, how do I pay for college and finish my career with minimal debt? So these are all the burning questions that we hear. But thankfully, Big Future and our resources provide lots of insight to these questions. We even have two amazing platform events, Big Future Live and Real Talk. And Big Future Live and Real Talk connect students and families directly to experts in career and college to help answer those questions that are burning as they think through that next step. Last year, we had over 200,000 registrants attend our Big Future Live and Real Talk virtual events.
So what tools and resources are students kind of using the most?
Three tools that we are seeing super high engagement that are really resonating with our students and families. The first, I would say, checklist, and I'll talk about that more in a moment. The second, career quiz. And then the third one, Big Future scholarships. So Big Future, as we evolve, right, we have been powered by College Board, and we all know College Board has been around since 1900, right? When we think about those three tools, checklists really enable you, if you sit down with your team, to really think through, where is my student in this spring semester of their 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th grade journey? And what should my student be doing? Should they be meeting with their high school counselor, or should they be taking an AP exam? When it comes to our career quiz, literally 10 minutes, 60 questions, and it provides insight and a beautiful starting point for your team to think through their career and their career journey. And then when it comes to our Big Future scholarships, this is amazing. We want students to really take action and really get started on their career and college decisions. So how we reward students is when students take action over on bigfuture.org. So let's say a student lets us know that they've completed the FAFSA, or a student has built out their career list or started their college list, then we enter them into a drawing for our Big Future $40,000 and $500 scholarships. Since our Big Future scholarships launch, we have awarded over $18 million worth of Big Future scholarships to over 21,000 students across the country. So we are always evolving and thinking, how do we best meet the needs of our students? And we are realizing that students are driving their career choices through their college and post-secondary choices.
So how does Big Future help support like some of the caring adults as they help students get ready for life after high school?
Well, I know for me, as I was contemplating that decision, right, it wasn't just a personal decision, it was a family decision. And for a lot of our students, caring adults really help make this decision come to fruition. And so if you're a caring adult, a parent of a teen, and you're contemplating what is the right first decision or step for my student after high school, I commend you. How Big Future helps you is that Big Future really has your back. We are here to help you and your teen think through how to explore careers, how to plan for college, how to pay for college. Over at bigfuture.org, we got you. We have your back.
Autumn Cavanis, where can we go for more information about all of this?
To contemplate and figure out more how to explore careers, plan for college, pay for college, please visit us over at bigfuture.org, because at Big Future, it's your future, your way.
Autumn Cavanis, thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
New research finds close to 70% of people abandon their New Year's resolutions before February 1st. With that in mind, what is the best way to go about setting our health and wellness goals for the new year? Today we got Mia Sen, who's a registered dietitian and author, and she's joining us with some advice. Welcome to the show, Mia. How are you?
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
All right, where should someone start if they're looking to start making homemade cooking easy?
Yes, well, my number one tip is to stock up on those pantry staples. It'll help make healthy meals come together in a flash. And Bush's Sidekicks are an easy way to add a flavor boost to dishes and kick off the new year right. They are the best quality beans available in a pre-seasoned, slow-simmered savory sauce, so it does all the work for you. And according to several food trend reports, plant-based diets featuring real plants will be all the buzz in 2024. And Bush's Sidekicks are an easy, delicious, and versatile source of plant-based protein and fiber. You can enjoy it as a ready-to-go side or add on to your tacos or grain bowls. Really, it's never been easier to add more bean goodness to your meals.
And we all know how important protein is to a healthy diet. How can we add a little bit more?
Yes, well, protein is an important macronutrient and helps us feel satisfied after a meal, and it's important for building and repairing muscles. Well, protein powder is a really easy, convenient way to up your protein intake. And I recommend the Vega Original Protein because it's a delicious plant-based option available at a great price point. So you get more for your dollar. Each serving has 25 grams of protein, 0 sugar, and 3 grams of fiber. Plus, it has a rich and creamy consistency, so it's great in your morning smoothie. You can add it to your overnight oats or enjoy it on its own in a shake.
And for those that decided to do financial as part of their New Year's resolution and get better at finances, what about the importance of financial health?
Yes, the start of the new year is a great time to prioritize financial health. And Opportune is a mission-driven fintech that's focused on helping its members save effortlessly and borrow when needed. The Opportune app takes a personalized and automated approach to savings, helping you make progress on your savings goals when you can afford it. You simply connect your checking account and set your custom savings goals. The app will learn your spending habits and expenses and automatically allocate money here and there towards your savings goals in a way that you'll hardly pay attention to. So whether it's saving for a down payment on a car or saving for a much needed summer vacation, and you can download Opportune on Android and Apple devices. It's free for 30 days and then $5 per month thereafter.
Mia Sen, thanks for joining us this morning. Where can we go for more information and maybe even follow you on social media?
For more information, you can head to my website, nutritionbymia.com, and it's Nutrition by Mia on Instagram.
Mia Sen, thanks for joining me this morning.
Thanks for having me.
You know, the holidays are over and now it's time for a cool winter vacation adventure. So joining us from Denver's Union Station to explain why it's a great place to go is travel expert Jennifer Weatherhead. Welcome to the show, Jennifer. How are you, my friend?
I am doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so it says that you've visited more than 70 countries, and today you're teaming up with Visit Denver, one of my favorite cities. I'm excited about this. I also hear that it's like a special day over at Denver Union Station. Can you tell us more about that?
It is. It's a really special day because it is the official kickoff of the Winter Park Express train that leaves from Union Station in downtown Denver, and it takes you straight to Winter Park Resort. It's so convenient because then you can skip driving and just head straight to the slopes from downtown Denver, which I think should be a part of, any winter vacation or itinerary. And I really think that Denver is a great spot because it's one of the only places in the country where you can hop on a train, combine some mountain adventure with world-class urban dining and arts and culture, and you can do it all in one day.
I grew up in Fort Collins, just north of there, so I always was in Denver, and I go to Denver all the time on trips. You got to tell us, why should Denver be on, people's Colorado itineraries, I guess?
Yeah. I've been to a lot of different places and I love Denver so much. And one of the reasons why is because it is that perfect spot to combine with your Colorado winter vacation. We have 300 days of sunshine here. You have that world-class dining, must-see cultural attractions, plus all that outdoor adventure, which equals that perfect destination for a winter vacation. The Denver International Airport is so close to the city. You can easily just get on a train from the airport and access downtown and Union Station very quickly. And it's called the Mile High City for a reason, because we're a mile above sea level here, and the benefit to that is that you can acclimate to the altitude before you hit those ski slopes.
All right, tell me something that should be important part of every Denver vacation.
The food. I mean, we all travel for food, right? And Denver's dining scene has been in the news over the past year because in 2023, Colorado welcomed the Michelin Guide to the state. So that means that Denver is now home to 26 Michelin Guide recognized restaurants. And it has such a diverse cuisine scene here. You have barbecue, Israeli, Mexican, Latin, Italian, and so much more. There are a lot of unique flavors and fresh ingredients here because we're so close to so many local farms. You have that Colorado lamb, beef and bison, so many fresh vegetables, and we even have outdoor dining, even in the winter, so they have yurt-style pods here, and of course some patios, so you can still be outside and dine even in the winter.
You can dine in a yurt. I love that. All right, what are some other can't-miss attractions or events going on this year?
I always say that Denver probably has some of the best arts, culture, and sports in the entire country. You can take in the local street art scene, which is really spectacular. The Denver Art Museum has a new All-Stars exhibit. You can learn about art conservation at the Clifford Still Museum. And then, of course, we have some Broadway shows that come through here as well. So we have Chicago, Hairspray, and Shrek at the Denver Center of Performing Arts. The Stanley Marketplace has a Space Explorers, the Infinite Immersive Experience. It's inspired by NASA missions. The music scene is really great here. You have Red Rocks Amphitheater. And of course, you have the Denver Nuggets and the Colorado Avalanche for hockey. I mean, there's really no shortage of things that you can see and do while you're staying in Denver.
I remember I was flying to Portland last year and I got held over in Denver because of a snowstorm, and I found this amazing Airbnb. I don't even know if it was an Airbnb, but it was like an amazing apartment that was gigantic for less than $100 a night, right off of 16th Street Mall. So definitely check out 16th Street Mall while you're out there. And I was able to walk up and down that next day and all that. So it's a really cool place. Where can we go for more information? And I'm gushing about Denver because I love going there so often.
Yeah, so you just want to go to visitdenver.com. It's a really great resource. The site has so many tips on how to plan out that winter vacation. They even have some tips on how you can rent your outdoor gear because it's a really discounted rate compared to those mountainside rentals. So it's a really good spot to start planning that out. And don't forget to pack your sunscreen. Like I mentioned, 300 days of sunshine here. So you know it's going to be sunny on those slopes. You want to be protected. But visitdenver.com is the place to go to start planning.
Visitdenver.com, 16th Street Mall, Casa Bonita. The list goes on and on, all the cool things that you can do in Denver. So there you go. Jennifer Weatherhead, thanks for joining me this morning.
Thanks for having me.
You know, in a world where understanding and unity are more vital than ever, we're delving into a topic that affects each and every one of us. Today, we are honored to have Dr. Landreth Washington from WK Kellogg Foundation as the Vice President for Transformation and Organizational Effectiveness. Dr. Washington brings over 2 decades of experience leading nonprofit and philanthropic organizations. She's here to shed a little light on a crucial subject of racial healing and the impactful initiatives of the National Day of Racial Healing. Welcome to the show, Dr. Washington. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having us, Dan.
So why is racial healing so important, and what does that actually mean?
Thank you for that question. The WK Kellogg Foundation believes that racial healing is fundamental to ensuring racial equity and that we have equitable futures for children, families, and communities. So when we talk about racial healing, we are looking at ways that communities can come together to first look at the attitudes and the assumptions that they hold about individuals who are different from them, and realizing ways that they can come together and understand those differences. Next, we ask people to come together and think about ways to heal from the impacts of structural and systemic racism. And we want people to come together to not only have the conversation, but also figure out ways that they can come together and act to be able to change the conditions in their communities, ensure that all children have an equitable opportunity to thrive.
So how does racial healing actually happen?
It happens for us, and the insights that we've seen are in 3 ways. First, you have to create a safe environment for people to be able to come and tell their truth, to be able to talk about the impacts of racism on their lives, to be able to share their stories and our shared experience in that space. The next is to be able to build deep, authentic relationships with one another. These relationships can actually help individuals understand how they impact one another and how we can address the wounds of racism and support one another as we listen and learn with empathy. And then lastly, it's all about action. While the conversations are great and we know they are important, change is what we're looking for at the end of the day. And so how can people come together, bridge across the divides, and be able to work together to ensure a promising future for our children?
So how can I learn more and participate in the National Day of Racial Healing?
We are asking and inviting everyone to our website, dayofracialhealing.org. On that website, you will find a host of community events, 200 events across 41 states, and we are actually excited about the work that's going to be happening and the events that are happening at the Explorer Center in Albuquerque over the week. You'll also be able to find tools and guides that you can download, resources that will help people be able to engage and have the conversation around issues of race, racism, and inequity, and how we can heal from these divides. And so we're just inviting everyone to go to our website, dayofracialhealing.org, and you'll find those tools and resources that will be able to help you engage.
One more time, where can we go for more information?
That is dayofracialhealing.org to get more information around our work.
Dr. Landreth Washington, thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you so much.
All right, as the winter chill sets in, so does the season of colds and flu, and bringing with it a myriad of health myths and half-truths. So to help us navigate this frosty period with our health intact, we're joined by Dr. Jennifer Connell, a renowned family medicine physician and associate professor at Rowan University School of Osteopathic Medicine, known for regular health insights on national platforms like The Today Show, CNN, and that one show we like to call New Mexico Rising. Dr. Jen is here to debunk some common cold and flu myths and share 3 essential winter wellness tips and guide us on what to do if we fall ill despite our best efforts. So let's warmly welcome Dr. Jennifer Connell to our show. Welcome.
Thank you. I so appreciate that introduction. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. All right, so what are some common misconceptions about coughs and colds, I guess?
Yeah, there are so many that are floating around. I mean, you name it, from the flu shot to remedies to all sorts of things. But you know, something I found interesting recently, I saw this survey conducted by one poll. They shared that 70% of Americans feel the struggle of making up for lost time after being sick, which I thought was really interesting because it really speaks to this idea that when we are sick, it is tough. It's not only tough on our bodies because we're not feeling well, but it's also tough on our lives, not being able to spend time with our family, getting to work, and we lose time. And in fact, in this poll, 3 in 5 people admit to the struggle of managing their time when sick as well. And nearly half of us, 47%, would choose extra rest and relaxation if given an extra 12 hours. So what this tells me is the conversation you and I are having is really important because being sick takes us out of our daily lives. We literally lose time. And it's something we want to prevent if we can.
All right. How do we prevent it? how do we stay healthy?
I love that. Yeah, so some of our tried and true really applies here. What am I talking about? Well, washing your hands, soap and water, 20 seconds. That's like so important. If you don't have soap and water available, you can use a hand sanitizer that has at least 60% alcohol in it. But other things, when we cough and sneeze, make sure we're not coughing and sneezing into the air. We want to cough or sneeze into our elbow or into a tissue so that we're not transmitting germs to our hand and then touching all sorts of things and people. Other things, though, if we're sick, we should be staying home. And for those of us who are well, we should avoid those who are sick and not share personal items, utensils, etc. with people who are under the weather as well. So, and I should also just throw in getting our vaccines. Our routine vaccines is going to be important for many of the viruses that we're seeing in the area these days. So
what should we do if you do get sick?
Yeah. So this is probably like the clinker right here. You know, when we get sick, what do? I always say, call your doctor. It's never a bad idea just to check in, especially if you have certain underlying conditions and things like that. But for many symptoms, cough, congestion, runny nose, sore throat, there are a lot of home remedies, natural remedies we can do, saltwater gargles, things like that, which I love. But if that doesn't quite cut it, we have Mucinex 12 hour, which I like it. I use it myself. I recommend it to my patients, my family. It's a great solution for symptom relief, and it's a maximum strength expectorant. So what it does is it loosens and thins mucus and helps with cough and congestion clearance. And another thing I think is really great is it's got this unique bilayer tablet that really makes sure there's not only immediate but extended release. So it lasts up to 12 hours. So when we talk about regaining some of our time and the time that we're out of commission, hopefully Mucinex XR helps with those symptoms. So I think that can be a really, really great option for people to check out. Again, it's something I use.
All right, Dr. Jennifer Connell, where can we go for more information about any of this?
Sure. Well, I recommend going to mucinex.com for more information.
Dr. Jennifer Connell, thanks for joining me this morning, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
All right, today we're joined by nasty Neal Jones. He's a guy that's been doing podcasting for over 20 years and starting to rise in the indie horror filmmaking scene. From his acclaimed podcasts on wrestling and horror to producing some films like End Zone 2 and the Once and Future Smash. Neal's journey is kind of a unique blend of passion, creativity, and horror and violence and all that other good stuff. Let's chat with Neal about his storytelling and groundbreaking film ventures. Welcome to the show, Neal. How are you, bud?
I'm doing very good, thank you. Thanks for having me on here.
All right, so you've been a podcaster since like the early days, since about 2005. Can you tell us about how you've seen podcasting evolve over the past 20 years?
Well, when we started, there wasn't even the term podcast. We called it internet radio. And the other people that we knew doing it, that they all had, terrestrial radio, quote unquote, real radio shows who just happened to also have them on the internet as a way to get them out there. And the three of us, it was me and two of my friends that I knew on message boards back when that was a thing before social media. We got together and we started doing our own wrestling show. We'd record it on Skype, which not a lot of people did back then, and we'd upload it to the internet for people to download. The first few episodes, we actually recorded the audio to a VCR and ripped the audio off of that. But things have progressed very much since then.
All right. Can you tell us about these two movies that you put together, The End Zone 2 and Once in Future Smash? I hear that you're like four-walling it and self-producing it. Can you tell us about that?
See, Once in Future Smash is a mockumentary, so it's kind of like a Christopher Guest movie about two actors who both take credit for the same role in the 1970 film End Zone 2. So they both say they played the slasher in that, which is loosely inspired by a lot of horror guests that I've had on the show. And we filmed that at Mad Monster Party at an actual convention. And End Zone 2 is the actual 1970 movie that we originally billed as this lost classic that were restored. And when we played festivals initially, some of the early reviews actually just thought it was a 1970 movie that we restored and didn't realize it was something we made.
So you interviewed our producer, Christian Calloway from Destroy All Neighbors this last week.
Great actor, very interesting. And it's cool that New Mexico has a lot. I think people just think LA is where all the actors are, but New Mexico has a lot of cool people, so people can make stuff there. But Christian Calloway is amazing in Destroy All Neighbors. I know we're only 12 days into the year, but it's my favorite movie of 2024.
What other projects do you have coming up or anything that's going on in your world?
So I also have Severed Limbs 15, which is my film festival. It's a virtual horror film festival. It's all short films. And so that's coming up on the 21st. The 13th, which is tomorrow, is the last day you can submit a film, and it's free, so you can do that. And I also played a real-life kidnapper and possible serial killer in Kansas Bowling film, which is currently untitled. And I'm opposite Tessa Garan in that, who is Jack Nicholson's daughter, who's been in the news a lot the last year. So usually someone asks me to do something, it's more comedic, or definitely very comedic. And this is the first time it's something very dark. So I'm really excited about that. I think that'll come out later this year.
And if people want to check out your podcast, where can they go?
WithoutYourHead.com, or look up Without Your Head on all the social media sites and all the podcasting platforms. And it's a video show on YouTube and Spotify and audio and all the other platforms.
Yeah, Neal Jones, thanks for joining me this morning. One more time, where can we go for more information, follow you on social media, and then keep up with some of the works and projects you're on?
Yeah, so I'm Neal Jones on Facebook and X. But you can look up Without Your Head. I'd rather you follow Without Your Head. Not that you can't follow me. I'm just not as interesting as the horror podcast. So follow Without Your Head everywhere. And IYH Wrestling, or In Your Head Wrestling. So we got In Your Head, the wrestling, and Without Your Head is the horror show.
Neal Jones, thanks for joining me this morning, my friend.
Thank you.
And that is it for New Mexico Rising. I want to thank you for tuning in and checking out the show. If you actually want to be on the show, all you got to do is email me. That's newmexicorising@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social media, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and you could go to our website, newmexicorising.com, to buy merch or some of the swag that some of the people send us here. So, and the stuff they send us, we said we'd give it to you for free. All you got to do is pay for shipping because it's kind of expensive for us. Till next week, that was New Mexico Rising.